we really don't even know ourselves until we hit in our 30s. We really don't. So we need to start teaching our children now, what should they be doing in their 30s? Finishing
in their 20s.
Mm-hmm. Finishing school. Mm-hmm. If you don't want to go to college right away, go to take a trade. Make sure you went to a trade school.
Because some people are not ready for college when they turn 18.
No, absolutely.
Right. You know what I mean? We don't want them wasting years or money.
Yes. Or trying to stay in the house forever.
Right.
Who am I? What am I supposed to do? Put them in a trade or something so they can have a job. Mm-hmm. You know, not a really great job, because if they get a great job, they're never going to want to continue on or leave.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, I was just watching, I don't know who it was, but they were talking about how before, when we had Black Wall Street, there were a lot of black business owners, period. Small business owners.
Right.
But after Black Wall Street went down, and then I'm not quite sure what happened during the 60s and 70s, but that's when the push came for us to go to college. And so it took the black business owners' kids out of that sector and put them in the college sector.
Right.
And so now, since they sent them off to college to get the better job in the corporations, those black businesses failed because they didn't bring their kids up in the business to take it over.
Well, you got to understand, keep in mind, is this. That was still during the Jim Crow era, too. And we were still separated. Segregation was separated. So with Black Wall Street, they had no choice. We had no choice but to depend on ourselves and teach our children finance.
Okay.
So then afterwards, when integration became about, okay, we stopped buying from each other because we wanted to assimilate.
That's right.
And so when you go to college now, the first thing they teach you about is, and I love this, if you ever get a chance to get the document called Waiting for Superman.
Okay.
And what's Waiting for Superman is a document, and it shows how...
It's a documentary.
It's a documentary, thank you. It's a documentary of they showing you how they take, middle class, black, white, you name it, and they say, okay, you're going to go here. And they say, you're going to get a job. And then this group, you're going to be supervisor. And then this group, you're going to be corporate leaders and so forth. And it depends on what sectional neighborhoods you live in, and still what kind of wealth you have too.
Okay.
But they teach these children. So basically, when you go to college now, they're pushing college because they need us to work in their factories. And so, and they always teach you that subliminal message. And when you get a job, and when you get out of college, you're going to get a job. You're going to get a job.
And it was supposed to be the better thing.
Right.
That's what our
Just
family
getting
thought.
a job.
Yes, get a job. Go to college and get that job working for them.
Yes.
Because that's supposed to be better.
Right. And then you can retire, and then you have that retire. You live off of your retirement, and now we can't live off no retirement.
The conventional wisdom is failing.
Yeah, that we won't get SSI, Social Security,
and that's why we have to talk differently to our children,
right?
Because retirement isn't going to look the same as it did 30 years ago. We don't have the 40% pension to retire off of anymore, and a lot of people don't have the stamina to stay at a company for 40 years.
I know I can't.
I can't, I mean, to honestly think about our millennials.
Yes.
They're not going to stay anywhere for 40 years.
No way, because they keep thinking about how I'm going to get more money, make more money, and they can't make more money. It's hard to make more money. You're lucky if you can stay at a company for 10 years without them closing down or laying you off. Because I was working at Job Corps. This man been at Job Corps for near 30 years. He only had 2 more years to retirement. They fired him for something small. So now he doesn't get that retirement package. He'll still get his servants pack, but he won't get that retirement. And I said, this is a load of crap.
That's a dirty dog. That's a dirty game.
But that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. So we got to teach our children a different way of how to look at money, look at their life, and not to become that
and how to acquire skill, because like Mom said earlier, college should be an expectation, not a choice. And I went to college. I went to college late. I was 26.
I was too.
When I decided to go get my bachelor's degree, and I got it in psychology, and that was a personal choice. I mean, if I would have left it up to my mother, she wouldn't have told me to get a degree in psychology. She would have told me to get something in healthcare, because those were where the jobs are at.
That's where the jobs are at. But
being able to figure out, like I said earlier, what are our kids good at?
Right. Exactly.
What is their skill set, and where are they going to be able to flourish?
Right.
That way we can guide them in the right direction and put them in the best case scenario for whatever it is that they're going to be able to do.
Right, and we got to, like I was telling my granddaughter, she's always saying, well, I want to go to the arts and stuff because I want to be a star. I said, do you know how many people are waiting in line to be a star? So what's your backup plan? So I'm not trying to kill a dream.
Right.
But I said, you got to have a backup plan. Mm-hmm. She said, well, can I be a teacher? Sure. Now you got to go to college. So just in case you don't become a star, because I know you ain't going to realize that until you're 30 years old, that everybody's trying to be a star.
Right.
You got a backup plan.
Right. But thinking about the people who are stars and made it, there are some who made it later in life.
Yes.
They got a big break. Mm-hmm. But a lot of the times they've been groomed to be stars.
Exactly.
That started when they were 3 or 4 years old. You know what I mean? They've been in those circles and mixing with those types of people and things like that. So they have a better chance of making it.
Right.
And that's the same with people who want to be doctors.
Yep.
If you put them in the same groups and circles of friends with people, you know, starting off kindergarten, junior high, high school, they're going to be a doctor.
Yes.
You know, because that's the path that you put them on.
Right.
You know.
And, you know, it's not when you start. It's just getting started.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Good example you brought up.
Just getting started.
KFC, the Colonel. I don't even, and then Wendy's didn't get his high school diploma until he was like 60 or 70 years old.
Really?
Yes, and he finally got that high school diploma. He just said he just had to get it.
Mm-hmm.
But of course he named the restaurant after his daughter, Wendy's, and he did the square burger. But he never had a high school diploma.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's not about if you want to make money, you have to go to college to do it. It's just you got to have some business savvy.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to have something that you got to go. You got to have a skill.
Mm-hmm.
He knew how to flip burgers. He knew about burgers.
Well, no, Wendy's is a system, and he put a system in place.
No. He started off with his burgers, trying to sell his burgers, and then he got smart with it.
And then created the system. The system, yeah.
McDonald's is the one who had that system.
Had the system,
right. McDonald's the one.
System.
I want to go back a little bit. You're talking about Black Wall Street, and then you're talking about we had the segregation,
right?
And we had to do it for ourselves. And Black Wall Street had some of the wealthiest people in America. And they were black. The wealthiest person, it was a black gentleman. He owned like the metro, the public transportation there.
Right.
But really quick, we all know how powerful the Jewish community is here.
Right.
And when
Jay-Z just talked about the Jews.
And then when they are with the Jewish community, when they go and buy something. Let's say I need a shirt. So I come to you, another Jewish person, buy a shirt from you. You make the shirts. So now you're going to go to this other Jewish person and buy the material. And they go find the silkworms from another Jewish person. So anyway, their money stays within the Jewish community for 21 days. That's it, 21 days. Let's look at the Koreans. They buy from the Koreans. I had some good friends. He had to get oil changes from another Korean. They charge him like $80 for an oil change, where you can get it at Walmart for $20. So, but they support one another. Their money stays in there for 3 days within their community. Look how powerful they are, and the money only stays for 3 days before it leaves the community. When we had Black Wall Street, do you know how long that dollar stayed within that black community?
Forever, because we didn't have anyone.
It stood for 3 years.
Wow.
3 years that money stood with the black community. That's how they got so big and so powerful. And the power that be saw it, destroyed it, brought the bombs, brought the police, and destroyed the entire Black Wall Street.
And I think that's another thing that, I mean, when you think about all the trauma that black people have experienced.
And that's what I'm saying. We got post-traumatic trauma. We got generational trauma.
We do. We do.
We need reparations for
PTSD, post-traumatic slave syndrome. That's for real. Like post-traumatic slave syndrome, because a lot of the times we do want to do better and we do want to work with each other, but then we're still afraid. You know what I mean? We still have that fear of, okay, are they going to come back and do something like that to us again? That's why we don't have any leaders. Look what happened to all the leaders. Now black people are scared to be leaders because they know that.
Everybody's dying on here.
Deported.
Yes, or got deported.
That's true. They got deported. That's right. They're
that
in Cuba.
Is so funny. So
They're
we have
Cuba,
to look for the leader within, and we have to. I think we have to have a different approach to it. Not everybody's going to be a Jay-Z or a Beyonce or what's his name who played Madea. Now he has a sister.
Perry.
What's his
Tyler
name?
Perry.
Tyler Perry or Oprah. Oprah wasn't the first black billionaire either. It was what's her name that did the hair.
Madam C.J. Walker.
Yeah, she was the first. She was the first. She was one of the first billionaires. But they brought her down to poverty. You know, so it's not that we can't do it. We have done it before. We just need to figure out, okay, enough is enough. You know, like we already know, within the black community alone, we spend about $1.7 trillion.
Something like that, yes.
Okay, the Hispanic community.
Well, then with the Hispanics,
they're like what, 54 billion, trillion.
all I know is that when you put the two of them combined for their spending power,
Right.
that puts them number 4 of top countries
Right.
of spending power.
Right.
Wow.
And I put the Native Americans in that as well. I put the Native American, Hispanics, and black. And we have about $4 trillion in spending power.
And so when we think about it, and you know, this is never to talk down about anybody starting businesses and things
No.
like that, because we need entrepreneurship
Yes,
in
we
our
do.
communities. But we need entrepreneurs who are going to give a true product and a true service.
Exactly.
You know, that's
Exactly.
how we have the corporations.
Right. And I always tell people, don't tell people to boycott and you ain't got none for them to go to.
Right. Yeah.
I said, okay, I get tired of that. Let's boycott. Okay, now you shut them down. Now you got to go 10 miles down the street just to go to another store. Are you going to build something up in place of that?
Right.
Because the best way to boycott it is just go to another store.
Right.
People live in these poverty communities. They can't. They don't have a car. They're waiting on a bus and it's cold.
That's
but
right.
you tell them to boycott, where are they going to go
Where are
next?
they going to go now? Exactly. That's so true. That's so
So
true.
don't tell me to boycott and you ain't got nothing for me. Okay, what's the alternative, people?
I think the biggest way for us to fight back is hit the people of the power in their pocket. Hit their pocketbook. And one of the things that they utilize over and over and over again, we kind of talked about it, is credit.
They use
Yeah.
credit.
Our
Yes,
children
they
don't
do.
know credit. I didn't know credit. I mean, here I am.
Leveraging credit. Leveraging credit.
Right.
Yes.
Basically, so that, because a lot of people think that if they get credit, it's bad
Right.
because they're buying stuff.
You know what to pay, how to pay it, when to pay it.
That's right.
How it's going to work for you and your benefit, and how you can,
Hold on. I'm sorry. Go on.
and how did you mention how to leverage it? Like that one gentleman, 19, bought a house. Now here he is, 20 years later, he has 20 houses pretty much. One of the things that the Caucasians do with their children is once they hit 18, I'm the dad, and I've had this credit card for 20 years.
That's right.
I put my son as a signer
So
on
he
my
gets
credit
the
card.
boost.
So now he not only does he have a card to use, first of all, I'm not going to give him the card.
That's
No,
right.
don't give them the
Don't
card.
give them the card.
But
Don't give them
all
the card.
my 20 years of credit history, he now has it instantly, just like that. So now he can go and finance his car, or
Get a good rate.
get a good rate on the car, or get that apartment that he needs, or a house, or whatever he has. He now is at 20 years old, has 22 years of credit. Like, how the heck do you do that? And that's what they do. They leverage their credit
That's
for,
right.
for their children or for other loved ones, and then they take it and then it goes to their children. So that's how they're able to reproduce that wealth over and over. Even though it may not be money, they can do it with credit. But we have to teach credit, what it is, how it works. Again, here I am, 46, and I'm learning credit. Gone through bankruptcy a couple of times and started over. So yes, we do need to learn, have them teach about credit.
Okay, and that's one of the things we're going to have on the show, and we're going to bring some children in too, because we need to teach junior achievement, academic achievement. The other person said on here on your line, because I got you, I'm sharing the wealth too.
We're doing comments now. We're looking at comments.
It's cultural. Yes, that's right. Philmona.
Yeah, that's my Aunt Flip. Hi, Aunt Flip. We're looking
Hi,
at
Aunt Flip.
We're looking
And
at
then
the
we have,
comments.
yes, we do. And the other thing, boycott by voting in the polls.
Well, there's a lot of people who don't believe in that.
Okay, and I don't. Okay. All right, y'all.
She said, hi.
Here's my stance on voting. I'm not going to continue to vote when I know that bottom line, like, for example, Arizona. Arizona is a Republican state. All right? All right. I'm not a Republican, nor am I a Democrat. I'm an independent. The bottom line is, I'm not going to pick two of the lesser evil. I don't have to. Okay? And don't tell me to pick two of the lesser evil. Because for generation to generation, we still don't have nothing.
But then what about her saying when we don't vote, that's how we get a Trump?
No, that's not true. We're going to get a Trump anyway. Look at Hillary. She was no better.
I didn't think she was any
No,
better.
Clinton, she was no better. She was just going to delay it longer. That's all it is. She's just smarter than he is.
Right.
You know, but bottom line is, we're still going to. And here's the thing: we're still going to go through an economic crisis because we're at that bubble. Isn't that what they call it back there? Oh, come on in. You can come listening. And we're still going through that economic bubble.
That's
so
right.
It doesn't make a difference.
Who's in office?
Who is going to be in office?
We still got to be leaders of our household.
Yes, we do.
And we still have to do the things that we need to do to make sure that we put our family on track.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And getting with the right people, aligning ourselves. And a lot of people don't realize that our relationships are the things that bring us down. They don't realize it because they think, like, I've known these people for all my life. They're my family. Yes. You know what I mean? Whatever the case may be. But our relationships are the things that either catapult us or drown us.
In fact, I was just talking yesterday, our biggest challenges we're going to get are from our loved ones, from our families. Definitely, because they're...
One thing Steve Harvey told me, and I learned this from Steve Harvey, and he said, just because you're going up, that doesn't mean that your family's going to go up with you. Remember, you did the climb.
That's right.
You did the work. And then all of a sudden, we always want to go back and say, hey, come on up, because we don't want to be there. But they didn't do that climb with you. So all they want to do is just leech off of you. All right, can I get some money? And I realized that every time I was losing money, it's because I kept feeling sorry because I got all this wealth and they don't. And I'm trying to show them, but they didn't do the climb. And so
or they didn't support.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
Or they didn't support, And we realize that things, and our support is backwards, because we've seen...
Put the headphones on. You going to come in? You want to chime in?
Well, fine.
Come on. Put the headphones on. We got a guest kid just came in. And he was listening and he was like, oh, okay, this is some good information. What's your name? Talk. Everybody's listening to you.
I'm Archie from Exaggerated Truth. I'm on Monday through Friday, 8 to 10.
Hey, Archie. I'm Professor Kelman.
Nice to meet you finally. Heard a lot about you.
Thank
so
you.
that's why I was
This
like,
is
let me sit
Shasta.
here. How you doing, Shasta?
She's my co-host. And this is Dennis.
Dennis, nice to meet you.
Nice to
bro.
meet you.
So,
I heard a lot about you. I was like, I'm going to sit and listen right now.
yeah, this is the Community Empowerment and Social...
Economic Development
And so
Hour.
we're talking about how to teach our children about finance. And it's important that we got to teach our children about finance.
That's one of the things that, like, I have two girls in college. I have
Right.
a 22-year-old
You
and
do?
a 19-year-old. Yeah.
I thought you were like
I thought you was
21.
I'm up there. So, my 22-year-old and my 19-year-old. My 22-year-old, before she went to college, she ended up getting a credit card. And I looked at her and said, I'm not paying it.
Yes.
My wife said it, I'm not paying it.
Uh-huh.
And so one of the good things was she ended up getting a job, so she was able to take care of it on
Right.
her own. You know what I mean? Then she got her a car, so she took care of it.
So, but how did you teach her about finance? How did she learn about that credit
So
card?
here's what we did. You know what I mean? Prior to we my wife is very numbers. My
Right.
wife is a numbers person. Me, I go spend. Hey, I'm going to. We don't need that right now. You sure? Okay. I can just swipe. I don't have to have cash. She always tells me, stop swiping. Okay. But my wife is very. She into numbers and she into that. So my wife showed them or made them. We have Dave Ramsey. We have his box set.
Yep.
So we sat and they was listening to it with us at first. They was like, why do we have to do the envelope system? Why did no, I made the money. I was like, all right, you know what I'm saying? So my wife made sure everybody understood credit, how valuable credit was.
Right.
But she also made sure they understood the value of a dollar. You know what I mean? The importance of it, or how is it gonna help you?
Right.
So, and when they wanted to go to these schools, that was another thing that made her say, listen, you can't, you have to understand, you might have to get a loan, you may have to get this, and if we don't have the credit for it, we can't get it. And that's one of the things that they were learning. So now with my sons, I give them, they're 12 and 9, so I give them a certain amount. Like, this is what you get for the week. They hold on to it as long as they can. But when that truck come around the corner,
I know, that's what you were saying. The ice cream, it's over. It's gone. They lose their mind.
that ice cream truck come around the corner, and I'll be like,
Boom.
I hate you for coming around
Yeah.
They were doing so good.
Everything
They
was
were so
going
disciplined.
well. But other than that, though, we just try. So what we've been trying to teach them is before you spend it,
Right.
make sure you know what you're spending it for.
Right.
Try to find it another place. Or
Right.
try to get it at a lower cost. Or, and then sometimes buying cheap is not always the
No,
best.
That's
No,
right. That's
no.
right. No, buying cheap
Because
is
we
not.
know I grew up in the hood. We grew up
cheap,
eating
yes.
ketchup, not ketchup.
Not
Ketchup. Who does that? I'm like, no, I need mustard and ketchup.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know, it was
Yeah.
cat
And that's the thing. That's the thing.
Right.
Getting our people to realize what is value.
Yeah.
You know
Right.
what I mean? Because we are so used to pinching our pennies and
Right.
making sure that we have enough to
Right.
stretch. We have to know when to buy something that's valuable.
And that's the
Right.
thing. We want a penny pinch, but sometimes some stuff you just can't pinch on.
Yes, sir.
You know what I
Thank
mean?
You can't pinch on your life insurance.
Yeah. Tell me, I sell life and health
You
insurance,
know, me
okay?
too,
So let
me
me
too.
tell
Okay,
you.
we gotta talk then.
So I have
Yes.
to tell people, listen, I know, and some people want to get there. I just need the $20 plan.
No,
but the
you don't.
If you die tomorrow, the $20 plan ain't gonna help your family.
Nope.
That's
Nope.
really not.
Okay,
No.
so we just have to. So that was one of the things that, and we're having 4 kids. I think my little ones now see what it was like with the girls when they
Right.
were coming up. You know what I mean? And I told my boys, listen, you may want a haircut, but the cheap thing is, mommy's gonna cut all our hair.
Right.
Like that.
So
Right.
wife,
Mama
learned,
haircut.
wife learned how to cut hair, so,
Yeah.
so it keeps a little money in house.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
She learned how to do hair, so my
Right.
girls,
Right,
she would do
exactly.
their hair. So some of that stuff that
Right.
those were the things we had. Not so much as cut corners on,
But
you know,
yeah,
but-
allocate differently.
yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah. So when she learned how to do hair and cut hair,
Right.
it was easier.
Right.
That's what with me and the boys. That's
Right.
$60.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Easily.
And my
Every
wife
2
has a
weeks.
fade like me, so when she learned how to cut hair, I was like, yeah, girl.
Yeah.
Put that 60 back in. So,
Right.
So, and then, we
Exactly.
spent, honestly, in the black community, they spend a lot on hair products.
They
Yes.
do.
And that's what the
Yeah.
biggest problem. The number
And
one.
nails.
The number one our spending buying is on our hair and our nails. I don't care
But
how
who owns
poverty-
those shops?
Exactly. We know who owns it. The Koreans.
Yes.
But then who owns all the beauty supplies? And so I
Yeah.
saw this white owner of a hair store. I said, who owns it? She said, well, I do. I said, you own a black hair salon, with the weave and the braid? Yes, she did. And I said, oh my God. I said, what is wrong with us? Why we...
We talked about that on my show, the black community, spending in the black community.
right.
Sure.
You can't spend in the black community if this is not there for it.
No,
Like if
it's
I don't own a hair store,
Yeah.
Exactly.
you know what I mean? So
Exactly.
and it's not that you don't know the product,
Right.
But then here's the other problem is when you get it, I'm not going to buy from her.
That's right.
Nope.
I don't even like her.
Nope, exactly.
Her eyes are too beautiful.
Exactly.
I know.
But that's that when we're talking about that generation or that it's not even Willie Lynch anymore. What is it called now?
You call it generation poverty?
Yeah, generational.
Well, it still is because essentially,
is.
it still is the syndrome.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
because-
Because all we're doing is teaching our kids what. Thank you. All we're doing is teaching something that has been given to us, handed down. We didn't know
Right.
any better. You know what I mean? And we told our kids to do the same thing because we didn't know any better.
And the other thing, like I was saying to everyone, it's like, don't tell me to boycott if you don't have another alternative for me to go to. Oh, we're gonna boycott Sally Ann's. Ling Ling, she done beat up on that. Everyone boycott. Okay, well, where am I gonna go? Because Ling Ling got my stuff. Do you got somewhere else I gotta go?
Well,
to?
luckily we have the Buy Black Marketplace now.
Well, I'm
Every
not talking
person-
about here. I was looking in Chicago and all these other places. They were telling everyone, boycott. I said, okay, well, where
You
gonna
boycott,
go?
where you gonna get it?
Yeah.
That's the only problem. I grew up in Chicago. There's no, you don't have that. You know what I mean? So
That's yours, right?
That's mine.
I can tell.
The lookalike. That's the lookalike. And they want to do this. They like what do.
Well, that's what we're saying. That what I would like to do is bring the children on next time, so we can talk to them and we can talk about finance and so forth. So we want to bring a show in that is going to teach our youth because they are
Our future.
our future.
When I was in school, they taught us how to write checks.
Yes, they don't do that.
They
no
don't
more.
do that no more. Now,
No.
of course,
Well,
checks
checks are
is-
going out,
Yeah, going.
yeah.
But when I was in school, they taught us those things. They taught us how to balance a checkbook.
But
things like that.
Dennis said a good thing. Even if we got to teach them how to balance, because just because that money didn't come out, you don't see it coming out your bank account.
Don't mean
They
it's
still
not
gonna
gonna-
get
They're
it.
Oh,
still
trust
get
me,
it.
my 19-year-old be like, you got that app Cash? I'm like, hey,
Yes,
you got Bravo?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, little girl,
Yeah.
listen.
The cash app.
Bravo.
You put
Add it to my
Bravo.
account.
No, little girl.
No.
But I think, and there's another thing with my daughters, because they're in college, they understand the stretch of $1.
Yes. Well,
Okay.
women, we gonna stretch that dollar.
Hey, what y'all eating? Noodles tonight.
Noodles.
That stretch. So like I told them, I said, I'm not trying to be mean, I said, but we got to make sure that because we're gonna have a lot more to come in the generation.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, and that's the thing. We haven't gotten a chance to do that with them, but I want to start teaching my boys. How to look at a check,
right?
How to look at your account,
right?
Read what a deduction
is,
read what a debit or credit is,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Understand how to add money, you know what I'm saying?
And how banks
IRAs,
get paid.
yeah, 401ks,
yeah.
So,
it's important. You know?
We do.
We don't know.
Well, on that note, this was a great. I'm glad we had a guest calling in here.
Like I said, it was funny. Nice to meet you. I was like, I never heard a show. I was gonna get in. I'm so lazy on Sundays when it comes to after working.
We're building up. We're building up everything like that. Shasta came on about 3 weeks ago, 3 to 4 weeks ago.
4 weeks ago now.
And Dennis, who's my fiance, he just came and I said, well, come on and see what I do. He was like, what? I said, yeah, come on in and see what we're doing.
And we finna, we done gave out the homeless now, so
Oh,
and they
great.
that was another thing. They got to see that, and they actually was a part of it, so they seen that part.
Yes, yes.
So
and I think that's what we need to start teaching our children, not just our own children, but other children. So it's like, you want to be here? Do you want to go ahead? Like, aren't you unfortunate? Like, this is warm water we're giving away. This is what's happening. And so we have the 10,000 Field, because we're with the Nation of Islam. Every Saturday, we go down to Cass and we feed the homeless.
Yeah.
On Saturdays too. And give them a good meal or something, a sandwich or something, so that way they know. So this is one of the things what we need to start doing. So again, this is the Community Empowerment and Social Economic Development Hour, and this is my Radio Phoenix. I appreciate everyone. Next week we're going to have a guest, and he's going to talk about how he went from homelessness and how he overcame a lot of adversities. And so his name is Donald, and Jose was talking to him. He met him at one of the shelters.
Okay.
And he was giving out like free water and things like that.
Yeah.
So
we've actually, just so you know, like we've had artists that's come on our shows that has come back to help participate in this. So it doesn't just end here.
And then what's the name of your show?
Exaggerated Truth. I'm on Monday through Friday, 8 to 10.
8 to 10, 8 a.m.
8 p.m. I'm at night.
Oh, at nighttime.
All crazy people come out.
I know. I don't see you on Facebook. You got to put it on
I do it Facebook. I do a Facebook live. I was drawing people. I wanted to make sure everybody go to the app too.
Right, exactly.
So I didn't want to
What's
take
the
away
app?
from that.
Can you tell
Support
people about
District?
The app is Support District Radio. You can download that in your Apple Store or your Google, your iTunes, your Apple Store, or whatever, or your Google Play, and then you'll be able to download the app. But we got plenty of shows that you can listen to. I just happen to be one of them. You know what I mean? And I just love doing it.
I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we finally meet.
I support locals. That's what
that's what we do.
So like I tell everybody, I was like, yeah, don't get me wrong. It's fun interviewing somebody that's already there, but I'd rather interview somebody that's starting up. So yeah.
And exactly, and not only that too, you give a boost in business, and we're trying to support the community.
Yeah.
What's going on in the community? You already got the news. Everyone tell you what's going on with everybody else.
Keep up with us. Connect the dots. Connect the dots.
Connect the dots.
Every fourth Friday.
We're
hosted at Michael's, and that's basically small business owners, entrepreneurs, anyone who's ready to elevate themselves and take their business to the next level. Yeah. We're hosting that. We're willing to do some work with anybody that's in the community working. We're trying to come out and just band together because we know we need our community.
Yeah. And if you all want the best bean pies in the world, here I am.
You're the one that made
Here I is, y'all.
By the way, listen, when I tell you.
You tasted it? You tasted the
You brought one in, and my team was here. My team got Nate. By the way, shout out to Nate, who's a black-owned photographer. He is starting up his business. He's doing free photography until December. About December, he charged.
Okay.
So you might want to get him now and then see how.
Number.
We need his number.
We'll make sure we get his number, and then make sure you check out Annika Marie. She's also on my calls. She does herstoryraps.com, so you can get you a hair wrap, pocket squares, bow ties. She do it all. So those are the two businesses.
We need that information. Give it to me so I can.
I will.
Put it out. Give it a shout out.
And don't forget to support black comedy because that's what I do.
That's right. You and Teddy Bear. You and Mr. Beard. I love my brother. He is so cool. So, anyways, if anybody, hopefully, if you have anything y'all want to talk about, hit up Sister Shasta.
Yes.
Myself, it's every Sunday.
Anybody want to be a guest? Let me know. We'll get you slotted in. You can come
There
share
you
your
go.
information on your business. You know, come chop
And
it
now
up
I got
with
my
us.
brother, and he comes here on Sunday. He can come here and co-host too. So you're listening to My Radio Phoenix. Peace, y'all.
Bye.
And Brother
Thank
Dennis, you
you.
got something